Hey everyone, it's John here from RPO Bay Hockey, back with another video, and this video is to break down a bunch of NHL news that's going down right now. We're about to get to NHL free agency, so I wanted to talk about the latest news, and we actually got a trade, so we'll talk about that here. So welcome if you're a new subscriber, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts. Brendan Dillon getting traded from the Caps to the Winnipeg Jets in exchange for 2 second-round picks. Dillon was acquired by the Caps from the San Jose Sharks for a second and a conditional third, and then the Caps obviously got him under contract, just in around that $4 million cap hit. So I like the fit for Dillon. He's joining a Winnipeg Jets team that's thin at the defense position and thin at the left shot. So I look at Brendan Dillon fitting on that left side next to former teammate Dylan DeMello. DeMello and Dillon played together with the Sharks, and I think this is going to be a good fit on that second pair potentially if they want to run it like that. And they don't really have to stress about defense if they don't want to. I mean, if they think the market's going to be too steep in terms of price, they could run a Pionk-Morrissey partnership if they want and Dylan DeMello with Brendan Dillon. So I think that's the scenario where you can run with, but you could also run a scenario where you have Logan Stanley in the top four, have maybe like Dillon and DeMello as like a bottom pair maybe. It's one of those things like you have versatility now with your defense and you can still go after a bigger name. I think this is maybe a little bit of an overpay, 2 seconds, but man, it's a defenseman you need. I kind of laugh with the Rangers. You get more for Dillon in the perspective of the Caps, and the Rangers got less for a guy like Buchnevich. So obviously I think that's a cap scenario too, because in the Capitals scenario here, they get some cap flexibility, and especially if they were to trade a guy like Hagelin, like they could get a guy up front in that top six, or they could get a better defenseman. Or this cap space could be used for a guy to partner up with Samsonov. So that's an aspect there. I also want to talk about Stastny re-signs with the Jets, 3.75 for 1 year. I love the fit with Stastny. I think against Montreal didn't really show well. I think he was injured, but Stastny's a guy that can fit really well on that second or third line wherever Dubois isn't. And he can also play on the wing. So I like the versatility of Stastny a lot. Can play huge on faceoffs, penalty kill. And just wanted to talk about a couple other signings. Dmitry Yaskin, 3.2 for 1 year with the Coyotes. Was playing overseas with the KHL, had a good couple seasons, and now will be joining the Coyotes that are just bringing on a bunch of contracts, which leads into another trade that went down. Stralman to the Coyotes from the Panthers. Panthers trying to create that cap space to sign Sam Reinhart, who they just acquired. So Stralman joining up, and the Coyotes also got a prospect, I believe, in a second, maybe another piece. But that wasn't the big trade. I think the bigger trade here is Dillon, because it's a big addition for the Jets on that defense that was very thin. And then just a couple other rumors right now, not confirmed, but Chris Weidman seems like he might be heading to the Montreal Canadiens. There was like a rumor that they might be checking in on D'Angelo, like again, super suspect, man. But Weidman, I don't mind. I mean, there was obviously like the Uber situation with Ottawa when he was in the Uber with Shabbat and Duchesne just talking mad smack. But hey, he could be going over to Quebec with Montreal. So we'll see if that's the scenario. There's also a heavy rumor right now that Luke Schenn would be signing with the Canucks for 2 years. I don't mind it if it's 1 mil or less. I mean, that's fine for the Canucks. You get some size on that bottom pair. I don't mind it at all. He could partner with like Levy or just be that extra guy if Rathbone's not ready to go. Some Canucks fans are also pointing towards the fact that Schmidt could also get traded, which I could definitely see. I don't think there's any other huge news going around. I think there's a big rumor right now with Getzlaf that he's going to test the open market, and 2 teams that were tossed out were the Boston Bruins and Nashville Predators. There was some rumor of a few teams being in on Braden Holtby with the Canucks. There was a rumor about the Leafs, but I don't know if I trust that. I think it was more like the Avalanche were interested potentially, the Flyers were potentially interested, and potentially the Buffalo Sabres. So look out for those names or teams with Braden Holtby. But I'll also be uploading my final, free agency prediction video. So if you want to check out that video when I post it, definitely give me your thoughts. But outside of that, I just wanted to go over just some news, I think that's a W for both sides, by the way, for the Caps and Jets. I guess if I look at other trades and then I look at the scenario potentially of if the Kraken had selected a guy like Brendan Dillon from the Caps, they could have flipped him for 2 seconds, right? If we look at this scenario. But if they did select maybe a gem with Vanacek, if he pans out, then they're not worried about the seconds. So we'll see what happens, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and more videos to come. I'll be uploading my final free agency prediction video, and we're going to have some fun with it as well. So thank you. If there's any other news or anything that I didn't bring up that you guys want to ask me about or just for me to touch on, I can also reply to one of your comments or just address it in general in the comments. So we'll see you soon, and excited to stream all day on Wednesday for free agency.